What's up guys, my name is Ace and welcome to another video in my solo survival world. To start this video, I have a few housekeeping items. First of all, Merry Christmas! As you guys know, it is the end of December, at least at the time I'm recording this it is. And yeah, so Christmas just happened, so Merry Christmas to each and every single one of you. I hope you guys did enjoy it. But considering it was Christmas, that means that I took a slight little break from YouTube. That is why there was no video last week, but I am back. And even though that I was not making a video, I was still doing some work here on the world when I could. First of all, I got rid of a ton of trees, especially right there. I did a little time lapse. I'll pull it up and you guys can see it was very satisfying to watch back. And I also pushed out this flattened part right here all the way up here. I think it just made it look a lot better, feel less circular. I also got rid of a bit of the mountain right here. And then up here at the top, it is getting nighttime, we gotta go to sleep. But up there at the top, I've been dwindling away at it. And I think that it's starting to get somewhat flat. Although I don't want to flatten it all the way down to the ground. I think I'm going to leave a bit of a hill there. But yeah, anytime I have time, I'm just going to flatten it just a little bit more. Alright, and since we are here in my bedroom, I want to mention something. So, I stayed up one night to get some bones for bone meal that I will be using later in today's episode. And while I was doing that, I shot some creepers with some skeletons and we got a few discs. So I already had these two right here, but I got this one, and that one. I don't know their names. I'm so sorry. I'm a rookie at Minecraft. And then over here in my closet, I moved my armor up here. So that's about it, but there is one more thing that I did do. Actually, there's two more things. So let me introduce you to the first thing. This is Mason. So he's our new villager here. Okay. He's running away. Hey, Mason, do you want to introduce yourself? So Mason is my stonemason. And the reason I wanted him was because he sells bricks. And also he sells diorite when we get to that level. So that'll be great. And then you also may notice this ladder. I made a little room up here that goes up into our lookout tower. So yeah, I finally gave this room a use. But that's enough of what I did do. Let's talk about what we're going to do today. So the reason for terraforming all this land is because I want to build a village of sorts, maybe more like a town, within this area in my starting area. So I want to run pathways all throughout and then have houses dotted around the place as well. I kind of want to make it a little claustrophobic in here. I think that would make it feel really more like a hustling, bustling city or town or village, whatever you want to call it. And I think it'll look good. But first things first is we got to plan it out a little bit. Alright, I'm just going to take this oak and then I'm going to dot it around in places. And then we might come through and make a path out of it if I do actually like this. Alright, so here's a rough outline of the path. And I actually think I like this a lot. As you can tell, it's not a straight path. I have it kind of winding around and then it makes a circle. It goes that way and then that way. And I think with the circle, we could have a fun little town square area. Maybe even dot in a few other houses and market stools. And I think this will be pretty cool. So I actually want to make the road out of mud and also some coarse dirt. But to make mud, we're going to have to go out here and we're going to have to convert a bunch of dirt into mud. So the first thing you do is fill up all your bottles. Then what you do is just place the water onto the dirt and it magically makes mud. And just a little bit later, we have a ton of mud. So I actually lied. I don't want to use mud. I want to use this packed mud right here. So the way you make packed mud is you got to take your mud and then you have to combine it with a bunch of wheat. So let's go tend to our farm. And now as I'm harvesting this wheat, I want to tell you guys to subscribe. I have a goal of reaching 500 subscribers by this summer. So make sure that you subscribe. I would really appreciate it, and it really helps me out a lot. And one wheat field harvest later, and we have a ton of wheat. And now heading into my crafting room, let's make some packed mud. I'm actually also going to turn some of this packed mud into mud bricks. And then the final thing for these pathways is some coarse dirt. So let's get our dirt and also some gravel. And we can combine those together to get some coarse dirt. Alright, so I'm going to start with this area right here in front of my house. So I think that I'm going to change this little pathway into just coarse dirt. and then we'll start the full pathway right about here. Alright, and there's the start. So as you can see, I'm going to go kind of by a 3 wide, and then I'm going to cover it with some coarse dirt. Haven't done that yet. I'm going to do that at the very end. And then also, I kind of dwindled down the amount of packed mud as you went up. And then I covered this area in coarse dirt as if it's a very highly trafficked area. And I left the gravel right there because I feel like coming out of the cave, you know, gravel would be right there. And I think this is turning out pretty good. So I'm going to do this for the whole thing, and then I'll come back to you guys. Alright, so the pathway is probably close to 50% done, at least for the amount that I want to do today. And I've already run completely out of this packed mud. And it took so long to get this stuff before, and I don't really want to go through that process again. So instead, I think we might go on a bit of an adventure, and let's find a mangrove swamp. Alright, Marshmallow, let's go find a mangrove swamp. I then traveled very far and came across a pretty cool village. You can go right there. Okay. What you guys got? Holy cow! They got diamonds! Let's go! Then shortly after, I stumbled across this. I recognize those trees. Let's see if this is... I think we found one. We found one, baby! Oh, let's go. At the mangrove swamp, I gathered as much mud as I could fit into my inventory. When I got back home, I put it in a crafting table, combined it with some wheat to make some packed mud, then started placing it, and finished the pathway. And just like that, the pathway is done. I think it turned out looking really, really good. I particularly like this intersection right here. As you guys can see, I did the coarse dirt going along the outside as if it's a heavily trafficked area. And then I did the main pathway out of packed mud, and then sprinkled in a bit of the packed mud bricks. And I think it turned out really well. Now to introduce or talk about the elephant in the room. My skin looks very different than it usually does. I look a lot more sparkly and a lot more gold than usual. And that's because at the time I'm filming this, it is New Year's Eve. And so I want to have a little bit of fun. You know, gotta have that party. We may shoot some fireworks later. But yeah, I think this pathway ended up looking pretty good. Alright, so since it's New Year's, in every single world that I've ever had on New Year's, I actually build like a statue to commemorate the year. And well, I want to do that here in this world as well. And I've finally decided what kind of statue I want to do. And also I've decided I'm going to build it in that little cave right there and maybe light it up, and it'll look really cool at nighttime as well as daytime. I actually want to build a statue of Marshmallow because he was my first ever horse in this world and still my only horse in this world. And, well, he's gotten us through a lot. So I think that he's going to be our statue. Now, if I ever find a better place for this, I might possibly move it. But for now, it's going to be in here. And finally, with a sign, the statue is finished. All right, let's make some fireworks. I'm going to make... We'll do 4 of those. Let's do a yellow one. Make 4 of those as well. That with gunpowder and paper? Yeah. I then set up a redstone firework launching contraption, and now it's time to shoot some fireworks. Alright, the sun has set it, and there's 10 seconds. So we got 10, 9, 3, 2, 1. Light her up. Oh, let's go. Happy New Year, everybody.